What's going on, my YT gang? Y'all already know what it is, man. This is your boy Rio, and if you are new, then welcome to the channel. Today we got to talk about it, guys, man. There's a whole lot of opinions going on right now when it comes to my boy Lamar Jackson, in which people starting to feel like if he does not make it to the Super Bowl this year, he will be considered a failure. Man, that's tough. Now, ESPN analyst Kimberly Martin and a couple of other ESPN analysts had a whole lot to say about this whole situation when they were asked about if they feel like he will be a failure over there on First Take. Let's take a look.
The conversation will be that Lamar sees it as a failure, and he should see it that way. I hate that word, but every single year the Ravens find themselves in this position, at the doorstep of they have the best roster. This is a team that I have said for the last 3 years, before Derrick Henry even got there, they have everything they need. Then you have, Zay Flowers fumbling by the goal line. Like, it seems like in those late game moments, they just figure out how to self-destruct. And so when I look at the Ravens, they have everything in front of them. They have the quarterback. There are no, Lamar talked about leadership, and I feel more in that interview, I feel more empowered, more emboldened to talk to guys and pull them aside. I don't even think that's the issue in Baltimore. It's just finish. And if they continue not to finish, it would be a failure because they literally have the best roster. They should win it. And each year they figure out a way how to lose.
Now, I kind of disagree when she say that he's going to be considered a failure. I understand where she's coming from, though, because when you look at the Baltimore Ravens, they're loaded, okay? And they added more pieces to their team in the offseason. So on paper, there's no reason why they shouldn't make it to the Super Bowl. This is their time, for sure. And the reason why I can't really say or consider him of being a failure is because we all know who he got to go through to get to the Super Bowl, and that's Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's a hard task to do for anybody in the AFC, right? When you look at Patrick Mahomes, man, since he became a starter, this man has yet to miss out on the AFC Championship. He's been there 7 years straight, in which he only lost 2 of them. One of them was to Joe Burrow, and the other one was to the greatest player to ever play the game of football in Tom Brady. And I feel like when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, just like Tom Brady, he finds ways to win. It don't matter what adversity is stacked against him. It don't matter if your team look better than his on paper. He's going to find a way to win that game. And that is the only reason why I do not agree with what she said. However, I do agree with what she said about the Baltimore Ravens not being able to finish. It's like they lose their identity in the postseason. They go away with every single thing that they did in the regular season that worked. And I don't get that to the death of me. When you look at the AFC Championship against the Kansas City Chiefs, when you look at that Buffalo game last year, it's like the mistakes that they're making are mistakes that they do not make in the regular season. And that continues to haunt them. So I got to agree with her on that. But let's take a look at the other analysts and see what they had to say.
I'm not going to change it, not 1 iota for me. I mean, if Baltimore Ravens don't get to the Super Bowl, we're going to be basically saying the same thing that we said last year, the year prior to that. Like, Lamar Jackson is 28 years old, a 2-time league MVP.
Mm-hmm. Almost 3-time, yeah.
Yeah, almost 3-time league MVP. I mean, you don't think that the Super Bowl is like the kind of the last hurrah for Lamar Jackson? Same thing for Josh Allen. They have to climb Mount Mahomes. That's really been what's been in the way for Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen is Mount Mahomes. So my thing is, if he hasn't done it, we're going to be right back here saying the same old things again about Lamar Jackson and company.
Which is they failed to achieve the thing that we expect them to achieve.
Absolutely. I've always said with Baltimore, it's not complicated what's going on with Baltimore. Literally, play the way you play in the regular season in the postseason.
So why don't they? Why, as somebody who's won a Super Bowl, why don't they?
Sometimes, the moments get too big for guys. I mean, when you watch the Baltimore Ravens, they do a lot of uncharacteristic things. Mark Andrews, like literally dropping the ball at the goal line. Zay Flowers crossing over the goal line, ball fumbling the ball. Stuff like that you don't usually see out of the Baltimore Ravens in the regular season, but for some reason it rears its ugly head in the postseason. That's what they got to do. They just got to play the way they play in the regular season into the postseason.
Now, everything that he just said is exactly almost what I said earlier. And that's why I agree with him to the fullest. When you look at the Baltimore Ravens, it's like they just don't know how to take the things that work for them in the regular season to the postseason. And it continues to haunt them. And until they figure that out, like, the fans are just going to continue to decrease when it comes to their hopes of them making it to the Super Bowl. Point blank, period. And then the other take that he said about Patrick Mahomes, it's just hard to get through him. Not even for Lamar Jackson, but for Josh Allen too. And that's something that they're going to have to find a way to overcome, because he's going to be there as long as they're there. All right, he's in the same era. So I don't know. And I didn't put this part in, but he also said that Patrick Mahomes is like the Michael Jordan to the NFL, which I agree with completely. As long as he's here, it's going to be hard for you to get a ring. That's just how I feel, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. But let's get to this other analyst and see what he had to say.
Right now, Lamar Jackson winning a Super Bowl feels inevitable. I still feel that inevitability of it. It feels like something that is bound to happen just by how great he is and how great his teams are. But at some point, as the years go on, that inevitability starts getting replaced by doubt. And some of those fumbles start to happen a little bit more. Those jitters start to happen a little more. And then that's when you start to be concerned, because what you don't want to be is an organization where the regular season feels like it does not matter, because everybody is sitting on their hands and saying, you can win 14 games, you can win MVPs, you can have Coach of the Year, you can have all these players, but I'd want to see it come playoff time. That stuff impacts a locker room. It infects a fan base. That stuff starts to be concerning. Right now, I'm with you guys. Right now, I feel like Lamar Jackson is great enough that we're just waiting our time. It's coming. The Super Bowl win is coming. But as more time goes, that stuff gets more tenuous.
I guess my question is, why would you think it's inevitable when we literally, let's be clear, the regular season does not matter for Baltimore. When you're a two-time MVP, the standard is elevated. So we've crossed that threshold for Lamar. It's not just about winning the AFC North. Nobody cares about that.
I don't know about inevitable. I just can't agree with that. Because when you look at the Baltimore Ravens, I mean, even in the past, they had good teams. When you look at their list against the other teams, they were supposed to win that game, or they were supposed to be the ones to go to the Super Bowl, but they failed to do so. So inevitable, I ain't gonna agree with. And then, like I said, man, as long as Patrick Mahomes there, Josh Allen gonna have the problem, Lamar Jackson gonna have the problem, Joe Burrow gonna have the problem. Even when you look at all the other players, like if you just doing Lamar Jackson, he still got to go against Joe Burrow, he got to go against Pat, and he got to go against Josh Allen. So at the end of the day, when you got to go against those quarterbacks, I can't guarantee anything. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about this whole situation. Do y'all feel like Lamar Jackson will be a failure if he do not make it to the Super Bowl this year? I got to get up out of here. I'm going to get at y'all on the next one. Yeti.